Welcome to Divine Light and Love Oracle with Stella. Today is Thursday, January 31st, 2019, and we are at the last day of the first month of the new year. I don't know about you, but I am looking forward to February and moving forward with clear intentions, fresh perspective, and a heart full of compassion and love for myself and for others. And I wanted to bring this message to you because this card came out last week in a live reading from the Alana Fairchild Love Your Inner Goddess Oracle deck. And the card is number 38, Soul Sisters. And you have two beautiful feminines on the card with their heart exposed. And it says, two hearts, one soul, sisterhood. And I can tell you, I've been so blessed and encouraged through the sisterhood that I've experienced with the communities here on YouTube that support the Twin Flame journey. I have been very blessed with people in my personal life that have just been wonderful to talk to, cry with, laugh with, and encourage one another. And so that's one of the reasons that I created this channel, and hopefully will build a strong, empowered community to share our light with each other and continue to support one another as we go through our individual and collective journeys. This particular card resonated with me because the message in the book had a specific line that just was like a light bulb aha moment for me. And this is going to resonate with you if along your journey you have experienced a betrayal, a rejection, an abandonment, a detachment or disconnection from your divine counterpart. That can be very painful and frustrating and emotionally overwhelming, especially when it comes seemingly out of nowhere. But I can assure you, this is all part of the divine plan of the universe to help us to grow and to glow up into the beautiful, empowered, compassionate, divine feminines that we were meant to be. And so sometimes when you encounter these kind of circumstances and situations in your connection, it can make you feel some kind of way. It might cause you to want to chase the person and demand some type of a explanation for their behavior. You might find yourself being withdrawn and questioning yourself, questioning, did I, misinterpret things? You might find yourself snooping on social media like Nancy Drew, trying to discover if there's a third party or clues as to why the counterpart disconnected or detached. You might even find yourself feeling like you need to shut your heart down and close off that heart chakra and not allow yourself to connect to others, or even open yourself to other connections with potential other counterparts. And I know that's a very painful place to be. And so tonight, this message is really to help encourage, uplift, inspire, and provide some perspective and insight to help you to heal and to overcome those negative energies and lower vibrations that are trying to keep you from rising to your fullest potential and to get activated in serving in your divine purpose. So number 38, which is also an 11 if you add it together, Soul Sisters, spiritual guidance. Some relationships nourish your soul whilst others damage it. A nourishing relationship has an effect on your soul, just as nourishing food does on your body. It makes you feel good, increases your energy to live your life, and enhances your well-being. Healthy relationships for your soul are those that uplift, inspire, and help you become more of yourself with fearlessness. They do not drag your spirit down into anxiety or confusion. Some people may love you, but just not know how to be in a relationship with you that is healthy for your soul. This is the line that I was telling you about. Some people may love you, but just do not know how to be in a relationship with you that is healthy for your soul. With such people, you will either need to show them how to be in your life in a soul-loving way, or take extra special care of yourself when you're around them. Sometimes this will not be enough to protect you from the negative influence of the relationship, and you will need to walk away and release them with love and light. This can be sad, yet it creates space for your soulmates to enter your life. And these are people with whom you share a deep and real connection with. You love each other in a way that frees you to be yourselves. We attract new soulmates into our world by being good to ourselves. Be your own best friend first. Require respect in your relationships, and then you will find it easy to recognize the people who genuinely love you and invite them into your heart. Now there is a sacred ritual that if you would like to participate, I would encourage you to get into a comfortable position, take some nice deep breaths and get grounded. Place your hands over your heart. I invite healthy love and connection into my life. I have courage to handle unhealthy patterns of relating with wisdom and strength. I love myself, and I have so much love to share unconditionally with others. My heart recognizes my true soulmates as I open myself up to genuinely loving relationships. I really resonated with this. It was so beautiful, and I hope that it connects for you as well. Many times we look at what's being projected onto us and we take it to heart as if it was something that happened to us internally. There's been said that hurt people hurt people. And if you're experiencing hurt because of something that has happened, as I'd mentioned earlier, it's okay to free yourself. It's okay to release that person with love and light. It's okay to heal from the inside and build yourself up. Connect with your tribe of sisters and build yourself up. Reach out and help them build themselves up, because it's all part of the universe's divine plan for us to grow deeper in love with ourselves and with each other. And one of the best ways that we can do so is to constantly remain in a vibration of forgiveness, compassion, and understanding. Something that I read, I want to say it was 2 days ago, that was posted by Dr. V, and her channel is called Love Revolution, and it's called The Wounded Masculine is Terrified of the Divine Feminine. Also really hit close to home. After reading this several times, I felt an even deeper understanding and appreciation for the masculine collective and what they're experiencing at this time. And I'd like to share it with you and look forward to hearing some of your feedback and thoughts about what you gleaned from this article that was written by Sean Smith. The wounded masculine is committed to never letting anyone or anything expose its weaknesses and vulnerability. And guess what the divine feminine does? She shines her light, not to expose or to confront or embarrass anyone else. She shines her light to share her love. However, the effect of that shining light, the pure love on the wounded masculine, is exposing, confronting, and embarrassing. In response, the wounded masculine often protects its wound through forceful control, i.e., abuse, violence, rage, believing it can overpower the feminine strength or mute the feminine voice. It won't have its weaknesses exposed. Or It will use desperate manipulation in a feeble attempt to win. Cheating without getting caught deceives the wound into feeling smart. Conquering an obstacle, especially a woman, deceives the wound into feeling powerful. The stronger the resistance, the greater the conqueror, and the greater the conqueror, the wound thinks. Or it will escape threat. Divine Feminine, you are considered a threat to the wounded masculine. They will escape by moving away from you physically, emotionally, or energetically, and it will deny the presence of the Divine Feminine, both internal within its own human body and external in other human bodies. Not because it doesn't love, but because it fears love. It fears the effect that love has on it. It was not taught that the presence of pure love is safe, so it does not feel safe in the presence of pure love. This is why they run. This is why they yell. This is why they control. This is why they numb. This is why they abuse. This is why they cheat. They are hurting. They feel empty, and they don't know a healthy way to feel whole and make the pain stop. You, the Divine Feminine, the arresting, breathtakingly beautiful spirit, are not the problem. You are merely exposing the problem that the wounded masculine does not want to be exposed. It will gnarl, growl, bite, maim, or kill to the same extent as the depth of the wound it's protecting. This is not your inadequacy. The lesson is not for you to dim your light or play small. The solution is not in your hiding. The answer is not for you to stop loving. The wounded masculine runs and runs and runs from others, yes, but mostly from self. The fire is not burning on the outside, it burns within. To the wounded masculines, please stop running, stop hurting, and start healing. Our boys, our girls, our men, our women, our brothers, our sisters, our society, our species have suffered enough. Their blood and tears cannot fill your void. This wound will run until one of two things happens. It will run until its legs can no longer run. It will punch until its arms can no longer punch. Its lungs can no longer breathe. Its tongue can no longer lie, and its heart can no longer beat. Death bringing an end to the suffering. Or it will learn that running cannot extinguish the fire that burns its own flesh. It will learn that punishing others does not confirm strength. It will finally stop and look inward and see the boy, the wounded self it has all along been running from. That boy with those teary eyes and quivering lip that pierces the false thickness of the heavy armor. It will learn that the answer is not to keep running from that boy because he cries. The answer is to love that boy because he cries. That boy does not want to hurt others. He wants his own hurting to stop, and he doesn't know how. He was wounded, punished, abused, molested, abandoned, unnurtured in some way. He has a story he wants nobody to know, so he runs. Divine masculines, please rise. Stop running and answer this boy's tears with love and not fear, with presence and not abandonment, with protection and not punishment. As soon as his pain goes away, he won't have to project onto other people anymore. This boy, look down at him, not down on him. As he looks up at you, see the beauty in him. As he smells the boldness in you, he yearns, this boy. Sit him on your lap, kiss him on the cheek, and stroke his hair with your strong fingers and tell him it will be okay. Tell him that he is okay. Do not place him over your lap and abuse his young body and mind just because his innocence and humanity scare your wound. He is wise, this boy. He is strong, this boy. He is you, this boy. He needs to experience your touchness, no longer your toughness. He needs to feel your divine protection, not your wounded projection. This boy's love is your answer. This boy's wisdom is your lesson. This boy's vulnerability is your strength. This boy's forgiveness is your liberation. Forgive yourself in his presence and let him sit you on his lap, this boy. Whew, that was really deep. I know as Divine Feminines, we often look at our own wounding. We look at things that happened in our childhood with our caregivers, with people that we trusted and people who we were conditioned to believe in. And our hearts were hurt and wounded. And many times we cried, or we held it in, or we suppressed it, or wrapped it in bubble wrap and stuck it in a box and filed it in the back of our minds. But it manifested and came out in other ways. And so we attracted people out of our wounding instead of our wholeness. And then, much to our surprise, when we attracted people out of our wounding, oftentimes those relationships, or what I like to call situationships, fell apart. And were we really surprised? Once you have your awakening, once you begin to start to pay attention to yourself, listen to yourself, you will realize that you don't want to have more of the same. You don't want to continue to attract where you're at in your wounding. And you will work diligently to create a wholeness in yourself. You will go on a mission to retrieve the pieces of your soul to come back together so that you can be whole again. You can be a whole person and vibrate on a level that allows you to attract the right kind of healthy love that is good for your soul. And the Divine Masculines are on their journey as well to discover how to become whole in a society where toxic masculinity is promoted and often applauded. It is very challenging for them to come into their authenticity as a balanced, aligned masculine with both the masculine and feminine energies inside of them in alignment so that they can experience love on a whole nother level. You know, it does make a difference whether you were raised on love or raised on survival, because that wounding, if you were raised on survival, for the masculines, for the feminines, it will, like a magnet, attract like, just like in the law of attraction, like attracts like. And so that's why it's so imperative that we as a collective overcome fear. And when we overcome fear, we can love with such a high capacity that it can change our world. And that's what our journey is about. That's what we're being called to. We're being called to step into the light. We're called to shed our false masks. We're called to shed and release our ego. We're called to take an inventory of our lives and the people that we are connecting with, and if they need to be released with love and light because they are not for our highest good, then we should do so without delay, without hesitation. I recall someone shared with me once about the fact that the rear view mirror is much smaller than the windshield, and it's because what's behind you in the past is a lot smaller than what's ahead of you going forward, and that's why the windshield is so much bigger than the rearview mirror. And so we need to get our mindset shifted and aligned with looking through the windshield, looking ahead. Yes, we can glance at that rearview mirror and see what's happening, look in those side mirrors, but the journey we're on, we're moving forward, we're moving straight ahead. And if you're listening to this message, then I feel like you are ready to move ahead, and perhaps you already are. And maybe this message is simply a confirmation of what you're already doing. Perhaps this message is an encouragement to somebody who was toying around with the idea of, well, maybe if I try something different, I'll get a different result. You're absolutely right. You will. You should pursue love and shed all things that would drag you back into fear, anxiety, relationships, situationships that are not healthy for your soul, so that you can rise and shine and give without sparing, because you're not giving from an empty well. Your energies are not tied up with this lower vibrational stuff of trying to figure out who's doing what and why this isn't working and how am I going to get from point A to point B. It's time to live in the moment. Be here now. Be present for yourself right now. Give yourself that love and attention that you were giving to somebody else in this journey, hoping that they would reflect it back at you. And if you discovered that there was no reciprocity there, that's a big red flag. That's like a matador cape flapping in the breeze, letting you know, step back and reassess, because you are worthy of a total package of love, compassion, reciprocity, concern, mindfulness, consciousness, because this journey is about raising your awareness and your consciousness. And if you are not in alignment with a vibrational match, it is going to be an unequally yoked match. It's like wearing one shoe that is a good fit and one shoe that is a half size too small. Yes, they both fit, but I guarantee you, after walking in those shoes long enough, that shoe that was a half size too small or a half size too big is going to start to bother you. And that is an indication. Stop putting the square pegs through the round holes. Align yourself with your higher self, your purpose, your mission, and allow the universe to gather in your soul tribe, including a divine counterpart that is going to complement you, not cause you to doubt, question, feel badly about yourself, feel insecure in any way. Those are all lower vibrational things, and they're fear-based. We are coming out of the matrix. We are breaking dawn. We are getting out of the system of fear-based toxic masculinity. Even in our feminine energy, it's triggered many of us to behave out of character. We're not designed to chase love. We're not designed to beg and try to get people to notice and recognize our goodness. We weren't designed for that. We are the givers of love. We're the nurturers. We know how to be kind and compassionate and caring. And then we get duped and a little tricked into not using that energy, and it becomes perverted, and suddenly we're seeking and asking and wanting, when in all actuality, we are love. We attract love wherever we go. And if we stay on that high vibration, if we stay in that mindset that says, I can and I will, we shall. And so I just wanted to bring this message to you guys, let you know how much I appreciate and have such gratitude for your support, for coming to the channel, for commenting, for responding to comments that I might make back to you. I really appreciate that. We're all learning, we're all growing and glowing up together. And I just wanted to share this with you because I felt it was the utmost importance that you know that sometimes when you think it's rejection, it's actually protection. And don't allow it to set up in you and cause unforgiveness or doubt or fear or anxiety. Don't have sleepless nights about what the person's doing and who they're with and if they're ever going to come to you. Live your best life now. You have visions, dreams, plans, ideas. You are oozing with creativity, sensuality. You're oozing with kindness. Live your best life right now. This is the moment that we were called for such a time as this. Your time starts now. If you're hearing this message right now, this is a call to wake you up, to shake you up, to remind you there is nothing impossible for you. Nothing. Even the word itself implies, I'm possible. You're possible. Please be encouraged, be uplifted. Do something good for yourself. Be good to yourself. Fill up your love tank. Fill up your well. Dispel fear. Dispel doubt. Dispel anything that would contradict what you know in your knower, that you are amazing and wonderful and you have a mission here to carry out and you are needed and you're important. And I wish all of you the most beautiful night, the most beautiful weekend ahead, a fabulous February. I will be coming back on likely Saturday around 8 p.m. with a live to go over the Lightworker Oracle card pulls for this past week for your birth months. I hope you enjoyed those. I look forward to connecting with each of you and send you lots of divine light and love.